ใช่ This is for you because you need to stop, you need to rest, you need to chill out because, man, there's some crazy stuff going on around the world right now, isn't there? I know, and it's so overwhelming. I feel we need to try and find time to step back into nature and just literally reset ourselves, tune in. And what better time to do it on a full moon? But it's one of those super moons, yes, where it's really close to the earth, and it's the buck moon, or I like to refer it as berry moon, which our native Indian friends used to call it. And we're going to be seeing that later on this evening, because at the moment the rain has stopped. We've had about three and a half hours maybe of heavy rain, and it's stopped, and the sun's come out, and it's so lush and vibrant, you wouldn't believe it. It's just bloody incredible, and I'm so glad that I made it here. Luckily I've got all of the firewood done, that's squared away under the shelter, it's nice and dry. Everything's pretty much set. We just need to run the clock down a bit till it gets dark, and then yes, we're going to be cooking some food, we're going to have a drink, we're going to have a cigar, we're going to watch the moon, and we're going to capture all of the sounds of the forest, because yes, there will be owls out this evening. There always is in this woods, and we love hearing the owls, don't we? Absolutely. So if you can't do stuff like this for whatever reasons, whether you're disabled, you can't get out of work, you can't afford it, or whatever it is, I hope this really helps. The aim of this video is to try and take you guys along with me, all right? You're going to be right here with me experiencing all of this, so should we go for a little walk? Yes, I know, it's a bit of a war zone out here, but it's nice to just find somewhere horizontal to sit down. But there's some big old girls that have come down there. So yeah, we're going to head down there to where our little camouflage shelter is, away from prying eyes. Right, we need to get over this. Well, we made it without falling over and making a complete backside of ourselves. So that's something good. It's so nice and fresh. It's not hot, it's not cold, it's not windy. But look at the light in the shade in here. It's so magical. It really is. It's beautiful. Right, we're off. We're going for that lovely, beautiful walk in the woods. And wow, can you see that sun? Struth, mate. It's a blinder. And do you know what? There's one thing which I haven't seen in here. I've not seen no deer. And I've been coming to this woods for about 8 months now. I've probably had about 4 or 5 visits, maybe 6, I'm not quite sure. But I haven't been in that many times. But I went to somewhere, sorry about the lighting. That sun's pretty crazy. Let's put it over here. I went somewhere different where I haven't been before. And I might take you down there now, because I found a spot which is quite a bit better than where I've been camping recently. So I thought, I've set up now, I'm not going to take it all down and put it all up again, but I think next time I'm definitely going to try down there. Whoa. Right, we're up on the hill. It might get a bit darker down here, so hopefully the camera adjusts as we walk and talk, as it were. Doing well not to fall over. Don't jinx it, he said. Whew. Yeah. Tell you what, the little insects are out in force. As you can imagine, you know, it's been raining a lot. It's stopped. The sun's come out, and yeah, they're absolute nightmares. The midges in Wales, they really are. I'm grinning like a crazy person. Why? Because it's good for you. It cheers you up. Whoops! Blimey, I don't want to fall over. Whew. Wow. So how you guys really been? It's been tough, innit? Yeah, I know it has. Yeah, we're all pretty much going through it. So let's try and forget about all that crazy stuff. Let's try and live our lives a bit rather than just chasing for the next thing, as it were. Right. Yeah, look at this place. I only found it a few hours ago, and all of that down there is relatively flat, which is perfect, isn't it? So yeah, you could probably have about 5 or 6 people around here, no problem at all. Oh, and it's so gorgeous down there. Just look at it. I know, a little bit spoilt. I've been walking past this for the last 8 months, didn't know it's down here. But I'm glad I listened to my intuition and said, what's down there? And I just stopped. And yeah, isn't it flipping gorgeous? I know, I'm in love with this place. I wish I owned it, imagine that. Imagine doing a prepper meeting here. Blimey. Be legendary, wouldn't it? Yeah, awesome. Yep, it sure is an awesome looking place, isn't it? Wow, I just love it out here. It's so awesome. We're back, home sweet home, and it is really cozy under here. I've done a different configuration what I usually do because I needed a bit more space going forward rather than a nice big angle sort of lean-to, which I usually do because there's a thumping great tree and I can't go back as far as I want. This is great. It's almost like a box shelter, and I've pulled it up in the middle, as you can see, because when we get the rain, you know what happens, big soggy puddles. Now, we have got some food to get through tonight, and these, I believe, are pineapple chunks in syrup with passion fruit and loads of other things. Yeah, awesome. What I wanted to do was to bring steaks and jacket spuds and all of that good stuff, because I've got some really good stuff from the butchers at home. Problem is, this is a pine forest, and you shouldn't really cook directly on coals with pine wood. It's not a good thing. So we're roughing it with these MREs, meals ready to eat. Oh wow. We're gonna see what this is like. Oh wow. It's pretty much like a fruit salad. I don't know if you can see in there. I don't want to tip it too much in case it all falls out. Oh wow. That's just what the doctor ordered. I didn't want to go for my main meal straight away, but I just fancy something sweet and a bit peckish. So yeah, when it gets dark enough, I'll get the fire going, and then I'm going to cook some more food. I think we're having sweet and sour chicken with rice. Haha, Chinese takeaway in the woods. Why wouldn't you? Wow, that didn't touch the sides. Wow, that's spot on actually. What's next? Chocolate marble cake. No idea what this is going to be like. Never had one before. So let's have a look inside. Incidentally, these things last for donkey's years. Okay, so it's got this best before date or whatever. Wow, look at that. Look, check that out. Wow, look at that. Camo cake. Oh my God. Wow, okay. Smells good, looks good. Yeah, good. Oh, wow. Wow, man, how do they do it? It's like a smooth, almost very slightly crunchy on the outside. Very sweet, like a sponge cake with, oh wow, just loads of chocolate going through it. Oh man, these are good. I like these ones. Living a dream. Wow, would you have a look at that? The temperature is dropping. And yes, believe it or not, this is British summertime. It's currently the 4th of July Can you believe it or not? That's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. But it is what it is. So as the sun tries to go down, we shall be getting dark soon. It's currently 15 minutes to 10 o'clock at night, and it's still loads of light out here, and the moon's not even visible yet. Yeah, can you believe it? Look, it's nearly 10 o'clock at night. It just doesn't make sense. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So yeah, as we look around, we can still see quite a lot, to be fair. Is it going to get dark? How bizarre. Right, now is the time. It is 10:05 at night, and yeah, we're losing the light now. So I'm going to try something different. A couple of these firelighters. I don't know if you can see them very well, but we're going to see how we get on with these. Something different. Oh, let's put that over there. No, they're looking pretty good. Let's see how we get on with those. Sure nice to be back outside. Oh, I just love building fires, don't you? Ah, that's better. Oh my days. I've been looking forward to this like you would not believe. Yes, sir. Oh wow. You can feel the warmth from it already, because it is getting chilly out here, believe it or not. They forecast 10 degrees C. Yeah, I know, it's July, summertime. What is going on? So, it is what it is. Make a fire, why not? Isn't that a beautiful thing? Moon angels and pyromaniacs of the world unite, sir. Ah, that's better. Now we're cooking. I thought, do you know what? Chuck the whole lot on there. Because time's getting on, and why not? Man, that's lovely and warm. I don't know if you just heard the helicopter earlier. Wow, that was close, whatever it was. So, yep, we are not alone. Considering there's no one for miles around here. Why don't you just bugger off, eh? No, that fire. Oh my days. The warmth from that, and I'm probably 3 feet away from it. Yep, all of my damp trousers and boots. Not anymore. Spot on. What do they call it? Bushcraft TV. Yeah. Man, that's awesome. bloody hell, it's getting hot in here. It's, it's over 20 degrees. And I'll tell you what, these sweet and sour chicken, wow. It surprised me. Not the sort of thing I usually go for, but these are really good. They've even got water chestnuts, you know, those little crunchy things. Yeah. Wow. You know when you haven't eaten for so long, you get really hungry. Wow, this is just the ticket. I might do the other one, what do you reckon? Oh my God. I want more, it's not enough. Put that with the others. That was pretty spot on. Look at that fire. Whew. I'm not joking, man, it's a bit too hot. Well, earlier we just heard the owls. That was fun. But by the time I finished dicking around and whatnot, they've been quiet, so we will hear them later, don't worry. I know the owls are awesome. I love the owls in the woods. Yeah, part of me wishes that was hardwood where I can put food straight on it. Bloody shame, innit? But there it is. It's definitely keeping us nice and warm. I think it was 10.5 degrees, about 10 feet away from the shelter. But it's a lot more than that in here, let me tell you. Bloody hell. Could be in Tenerife. Oh, looks like it's broke. 29.4. Oh my God. Struth. That's damn hot. I've done another one. I might regret this. But it's always that, I don't know if you, let's put him over there. I don't know if you guys get the same. When you have one of these MREs, one's just not enough. But two's a bit too much. I mean, why can't I do it sort of in between? What is there? Let's have a look. 300 grams. I reckon, 500 would be good, don't you? Or am I just being a greedy piggy? Ah. But yeah, it's just one of the things. If you feel hungry, just eat, innit? Common sense. Right. Round 2. Oh my God. Do you know, I figured this little tip out way back in the day. Hold it with your hat. So much easier. See if I can cut that off. Oh God, it's hard with the light everywhere. That's it. There we go. Let's pop him back in the hat so I don't burn me pinkies. Whoa! God! I don't know where that went somewhere, but I could regret that. There it is. God, that fire's cracking like a mofo. It really is. Look at this. Oh, I'm going to blow up in a minute. Struth almighty. What am I doing? Oh, why is it when you start videoing yourself and the smoke starts blowing right at you? Thanks for that. Oh, struth. I had to come out here. That was crazy. Doesn't that really do your head in when the bloody smoke goes in your face? Oh, you know when the temperature's just right. Well, you probably can't see that very well, but wow. must admit that surprised me. Like I said, I don't usually have sweet and sour, but this is well nice. Wish I bought some chilli or something now. Oh well, can't win them all. Oh, that's so good. I think I'm gonna call it a night. It's wow. It's 25 to 1 in the morning and there's no sign of our moon anywhere. Really weird. It must be cloudy, I guess, because the sky seems a little bit brighter than usual, like you would probably expect, but no bright white light anywhere. A little bit gutted, but there's always another one, right? So I'm going to finish off these wonderful troll tears because they are rather fantastic, you know. And watch the fire die out, get into my DOS pit and have a nod. Yes, have 40 winks, have some Z's, have some Z's, you know. Man, talk about blissed out, chilled out and whacked out. Whew. What a day. I'm only halfway through. I'll probably see you guys first thing in the morning, bright and early. Right, I'll see you guys in the morning. Oh, and one last thing. Night night, my moon angel. Take care. Good morning. Oh, what a night. Oh, what an amazing night. Absolutely brilliant. I think I probably got about 5 hours half decent sleep, which is really good for me. It seriously is. So feel properly chilled out, relaxed and reset. We'll go back onto that in a minute. But it's quite funny because I just done this video laying in my sleeping bag naked and the audio cut out after about 10 seconds. So you may have been spared that one. So I'm all up, I'm dressed, just about to have coffee now because, man, we need coffee, don't we? We really do, because I'm telling you, it's so relaxing being out here. It's very difficult to do anything other than just chill out. So coffee is needed. So here's our water. This is double filtered now. This is double purified, just in case. So we're going to squeeze that through the filtration cartridge. It's going to take a while. Whew. Done. Lid. Gas. Wipe and on. I had to do a bit of digging around earlier. Yeah, had to do a little bit of digging around online before I come out. Because how many of you, right, and I know lots of you are going to nod right now, have been in a situation where they're just about to go out camping, they've got one of these gas bottles, but it doesn't seem like there's much in there. Should I take it or should I leave it? Well, I've done some digging and it turns out that there's certain weights you can put in the internet and it tells you how much it is empty. So you can weigh it and it tells you how much is actually in there. And apparently it turns out it burns, I could be wrong here, you're gonna have to double check yourself, but I think it was something like it burns 2 grams of gas in 1 minute. I'm presuming that's on full power. So something to ponder upon, because this bottle is nearly empty. Now I'm really winging it by bringing it out here and trying to use it all up to do what I need it to do for this trip, right? But as always, we should always be prepared. If this goes belly up, there's no more fire down there. I've got the hexi stove, which is absolutely awesome as a backup. Right, that's not been long. Oh, we're just starting to boil. That's good news. So we're going to be using the old favourite. I've been using this for years, and yes, I did buy it. No, I'm not affiliated with it. It's an awesome bit of kit. It's by a company called GSI Outdoors. It's called the Java press. Absolutely spot on. Now, you can open it up like that. Okay, so basically you've just got a cup with a neoprene holding sleeve. Here is the top. And all I do is I just keep my coffee and my sugar right inside. And all this is just a plunging device. But if you look on the back there, it's got a very, very fine mesh with a rubberized seal. So all you do is you put your coffee and your sugar in there, put hot water in there, stir it if you want to, but you don't have to. And then you can put that on there, and when you think it's brewed for long enough, you can plunge it. Wow, the sun's come right out. Let me see if I can adjust that. Wow, we've really got sunshine out here. Check it out. Right, cool. We're still recording. Is it still recording? Yeah, I believe it is. So yes, that is that, and we're going to be using that any second now. Here we go. Whoa, we got a boil. So we turn it off because we need that gas, very little gas now, because the flame's not going very big, for our awesome breakfast soon. Oh, they just love it when the sun comes out. Bang on cue. Now, like I say, once it's in there, it's quite difficult to get out. So what I do is I'll put the lid back on and use the fun bit there to lever it off. There we go, job done. So first things first is our coffee, because we bloody need coffee. Now I've put a lot in here. It's going to be as strong, it's almost going to be like an espresso this. And a shed load of sugar too. This is going to be one power punch coffee. Give it a little mix up in there. And yes sir, we're good to go. And pour. Oh, you can smell it. Oh, you can smell the coffee in the woods. Amen. Look at that. Oh, look at that. We've done just about the right amount of water. That was cool. Incidentally, the right amount of water was between the two lines inside the cup, the two measuring lines. One says 0.5 litre and the other one's 0.25. So yeah, in between them two. There, oh man, I want to drink it now, but I know I can't. Where did I put my spoon? Oh, there it is. It's hiding behind my leg. I'm going to stir mine. Oh, wow. If you can smell that. Awesome. Hot Java lava coffee. My mate Simon, oh bless him, he's the one that got me onto coffee back in 2013. If it wasn't for him, I don't know what I would do. I really don't. Yeah, wipe off the bits that spilt. So we don't want no bits in our coffee, do we? Nah, no one likes bits in their coffee. Because the spoon's knocked it out of it. Cool. Yeah, we just wait for that to brew for a couple of minutes and then, yeah, time for a chat. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes or so. Time to press. Now, I learnt this a long time ago. Do not put too much water in it, because when you press it, it'll all come out the top. In fact, it might even do that now, but we'll see if we can get away with it. Done. That's it. That's how simple these things are. Anything you can find that is simple for spending the maximum time out here is an absolute go, in my opinion. Cheers. It's really difficult to adjust the settings on the camera because the light's constantly getting really bright and then really dark, so I apologise. There we go. First sip of the coffee of the day. Oh. Oh, now that is what I call a coffee-gasm. Oh lordy, that's amazing. It's a bit hot, but struth, that's really strong, really sweet, really black. It's just how I like my coffee. You have whatever you want in yours. It's awesome, isn't it? Yeah, that's going to need to cool down a bit. So while that's cooling down, I'm going to put the lid on because I don't want bits landing in it. That's another thing you learn doing this stuff outside. Bits land. You don't want it in your food or drink. So yeah, what I was talking about earlier, before it all got cut out with the microphone. Bloody hell. Oh, the sun's going in again. Let me just adjust it again. Bonkers. Yeah, I just learnt that new function by some guy on YouTube, and it's helped massively getting some quality shots from this trip out. But yeah, what was I saying earlier? The things that I enjoy about being out in the forest. I don't know if you can hear it now because I've got the microphones on, but you can hear the wind just dancing through the treetops. And you can hear it moving around different parts of the forest. I love that, the motion of the wind, and you can see the very tips of the trees just gently moving around. And obviously sometimes when it's really windy, it doesn't dance, it races. I mean, it races, it tears through the woods. So yes, and also lying back, looking up at the shelter, when I put the bracken all over the top, when you've got that mixture with the camouflage already on the shelter, it's beautiful, it really is. And we had the sunlight coming through there. I think I took some pictures last night with the firelight behind it. That was just incredible. So you're just laying there, just coming round after a quite a good sleep, and you're staring at all of these patterns. And it really is amazing when you find time in the woods to actually look closely at things. It's a different world. It really is, and I think many people miss it. They don't look, they're in a rush, and they miss all of this amazing stuff. The patterns that you see, it's just beautiful. Now I know about the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio. I don't know if any of you guys are aware of that, but you absolutely see it everywhere out here. And it is nature and the universe, as it were, at its best. It's just no one or nothing can replicate that. And I do know that the digital phenomena is trying to, but in my heart, in my eye, it's never going to win. I don't know if you agree, but that's how I feel. And I think I'm an analog bloke in a digital world, if that makes sense. Because think of all of the stresses and all of the craziness which contributes to daily living. Most of it's traced back to digital. Out here, everything is analog, if you understand what I mean. And it is just a joy to behold. It seriously, seriously is. I mean, that little walk I've done around yesterday, I might even do some more. If I get time, if I pack this away, I can walk around and look at some more stuff, because it really does make you appreciate the wonders of nature. So yeah, that's my little pep talk for this morning. Waiting for my coffee to become a suitable temperature to drink without hurting my lips, etc. Yeah, that's still way too hot. I think that's because it's got that neoprene sleeve on that coffee. Oh no, and I spilled some on my sleeping bag. Bugger. Yeah, they're good little things, these are. I do like them. I don't know if you can still get them. I suspect you could. What are they called again? It's by GSI Outdoors. And it's called the Java Press. So yeah, don't shoot me. I'm not being paid. I bought it out of my own money a long time ago, and I just love recommending kit that works. Seriously. Because it does. It makes your experience out here so much more simpler. Whoa, now that's better. My days, that coffee is just literally just ding, switched everything on. And oh my God, the sun's just come out again. Bloody hell, this is Wales after all. I'm not joking. Within the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, it's been dark, it's been raining and windy. Oh my God, I've got to adjust the settings again. Bloody hell. Oh, I don't know how good automatic is, but we'll see on another video perhaps. But no, question is breakfast. And it's the all-day breakfast. Yes, the all-day breakfast. So if you're new to all this, beans, sausages. Oh God. Oh, it's all mixed up with different ingredients and stuff. No, it's just basically a fry-up in a bag. Yeah. Personally, out of all of the MREs, which is called Meals Ready to Eat, or if you have the American MREs, MRE stands for Meals Rejected by Ethiopians. Okay, don't eat them. Sorry, my American friends. But the British ones are really good. And it's not being biased, I've tried loads. And in my opinion, the best MREs in the world that you can get is the British ones and the French ones. I wouldn't mind trying the Brazilian one. They're really hard to get, but they're supposed to be pretty good. Anyway, yeah. So, there's the bag. What I do is I squeeze it all down so it's all thin. Then I fold it over like this. Okay, so it looks like that. Then the bit that I folded over, I double fold back like that. And the main reason is when I come to take it out of the cup, you can just pull it out like this. Okay. Once it's done like this, I hope that all makes sense. So fold flat, bend it, okay? Then the next thing I do is I squeeze it around like that. And the main reason I do that is because it fits in the cup nicely. If you look at it, it just fits in there like this, okay? This is an idea that I come up with. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I always do the same thing and it's perfect because do you know why? All you need to do this is about 3/4 of an inch of water. Yeah, so water goes a long, long way. But if you do this, you will need a lid, any sort of lid, as long as it keeps that pressure and the evaporation inside. If you do it without a lid, I suspect it's possibly going to boil dry, heat the bag up, melt it and be a big mess. So that's what I do. Put it inside there and the lid goes on the top. Now, before you ask, please don't ask me where I'll get that lid from, okay? I don't know if it's going to focus, but it's they were made a long time ago, made by a company called Heavy Cover. Okay, I think Ray Mears had them on his website, which is where I think I got one of these. I got two of these now, but they're really, really, really hard to get hold of. And you can get plastic ones, which BCB do. Incidentally, BCB make these mugs, but I just think it's a bit pointless having a plastic lid on metal that's going to get hot. But I suppose if you used it carefully, you could be okay. So we've got our bag, we've got our pot. Incidentally, because you're not going to be drinking the water after, you can use any water from the stream, from water on your tarp or your basher, okay? But because we've got plenty of filtered water and I'm just sat here, it's just more convenient just to use filtered water. And there's loads more where that came from. Like I said, you don't need a lot of water for this. You really, really don't. You know, I've seen people, and I've done this before, it's all part of the learning process, or my mate Paul would say, the learning curve. I used to stick them in an open mess tin and boil them. And you use so much water, it takes so long. But I find that doing this way is the fastest. And it uses much less water. So there we go. I don't know if you can see in there, there's not much water at all. is probably 1/2 inch, give or take. Okay, so once that's done, easy peasy, we got our bag, which we've all squished up ready. That will just go inside there like that. So once you push it down, can you see how much water has come up because of the volume that's just been put into the water within the mug? And that is going to sort it right out. Like I say, pressure cooker, keep it all in there. Now we're going to hope and pray that there's enough gas in this. It's getting very, very lightweight. And when I done the coffee earlier, it burned not as fierce as it can. So I suspect this is going to run out. If it does, it's plan B with the hexi stove. So we're not wasting any time at all. We're going to get her on there. And we wait. Wow, guess what? Look, it ran out and it's still turned on. Gone. Absolutely run it out. But the thing is, it was literally about 10 seconds away from coming up to boil. So what I'm going to do, hexi stove time. This is why it's really important to have a backup, because you never know when these sorts of things are going to happen. And here it is. Who remembers these? Who has ever seen these before? Yeah, back in the day, a long, long time ago, I spent a bit of time in the military, and they used to give us these when they issued us the 24-hour ration pack. These are awesome if you're lucky enough to find them. Now, fortunately, you've got these from a shop, a store at the Bushcraft show. And this is the complete set. It's got the fuel, the cooker, and the attachment for our cup that we've got. And I think it's £3 or £4 in really good nick. So this is where this comes into its own. There we go, brand new, taken out of its protective packaging. And it's even got instructions there for people who don't know how to use these things. There is the attachment which goes around our cup. And here it is. I don't know why it's really glary. But that is our stove. Look at that. So all you do is, these are your fuel blocks inside. And that is your stove there. Really simple. In fact, I'm looking forward to this because it's been so long since I used one of these. We used to use them all the time. Wow. Yes, absolutely do not use these in a confined space. Right, in a small room or a vehicle, do not, because the fumes will get you. And there's all the instructions on there as well. So, because this is a plan B, I haven't done what we used to do back in the day. Back in the day, what we used to do is we used to get these, as soon as they was issued to us, take it out of this box, break it all up into little bits, put it into a bag and slip them. You see my smock has got zips on here, and put it inside and it keeps it warm. So when you go to light them, it's a lot easier. Now this might be a bit tricky to light, so we're going to see. You know when you let air out of a car tyre? Yeah, that fishy smell. Oh, days. Look at them. I haven't done this for so long. So yeah, there is a hexamin tablet, okay? They burn really hot, really furious. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear some of this loose debris that's on the ground, because we don't want that catching. Break them up into bits. I'll break them up into 4s, and I'm going to use 2 tablets for this trick. In fact, sod it, just in case, I'm going to use 3. Again, break them up into 4s. So here is a piece. You can see them all broken up in there. You can see it spit like crazy. We put that on there, pray that it catches, because these are quite old and they're a bit cold. All right, so we're looking good. Here's our lid. I'm just going to put that on there like that. And replace our mug. Straight on there like that. Couldn't it be simpler, really? Like I say, it's always good to have a plan B. Oh, the smell. Oh my days, that takes me back. Look at that. Proper fire. Wow, look at her go. It's struggling with the light. The sun keeps coming in and out. But yeah, that brings back so many memories. It seriously does. Just to think, 2 bods under a poncho with these on the go. If you've got bad wind, you've got big problems in there. Because the wind direction's changed. I'll have to, I've moved back as much as I could. Because it's getting hot. But no, these things as a backup, absolutely awesome. So it's been boiling for long enough and there's still plenty more left to go. So as always, think ahead. I'm going to move that there, out of the way. A hat, a wool hat. Don't use the synthetic stuff. Okay, a wool hat. The wind's changed and it's heated up these handles. If I was to touch them now, big mistake. Use your hand, quickly remove it and put it down there. As you can probably tell, there's not much left by means of fuel in there. So it was a pretty good guesstimate using 3 blocks to do that. Everything's hot. So we use this. To me, it's common sense. I may be teaching loads of people to suck eggs, but I know that there's lots of new guys out there who want to try this. So if these safety things aren't pointed out, there could be big problems. You get a serious burn on your hand and your first aid kit's not up to it, straight away you've got a problem, okay? So here is our bag. Piping hot. Doesn't matter, that can just go straight on the floor, right? Because you're not going to be eating the outside of the bag. Then with my hat again, doesn't matter if it's wet, it's fine. I just squeeze it all down like that. And you can move it around as well, give it a good old mix up, as I say. Because there could be parts in there that are cold, but by moving it all around, you're absolutely good to the go. So we're squeezing it all down to the bottom. Now if you notice, on the top of these bags, you've got the little cutout there to tear that off. These are for inexperienced people. Okay, you tear that off there, you're going to put your spoon down on there and all your spoons are going to get mucky. Then, if you want to fall into that trap of buying one of those silly long spoons, which is like the size of a teaspoon, you try eating this with a teaspoon, it's ridiculous. So, we ignore these silly little things here. We put it inside because it's hot. We get our knife, because everyone should have a knife in the field. Incidentally, this is the only knife I've got with me on this trip. I didn't take a big knife, just to see how I got on with my EDC basically. So we push it down there and we just cut along there. Now it's quite tricky to do this, because if you get it wrong it could fall over and you've lost it all. So it's done. We cut it off, and with our hat underneath, there is the delightful contents inside. And with our spoon, always clean your spoon up as soon as you finish a bit. If you leave it mucky and you go to use it again, then you, oh my God, I've got to clean my spoon quick because it's covered in stuff. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's all sorts in there. Blimey. There's like omelette pieces, There's little cubes of smoked bacon, there's sausages, there's baked beans, and I think there's some mushrooms in there too. So it's literally a fry up in a bag. Oh, have a look. All day breakfast in the woods under a DPM basher with my hexi stove. Going back in time or what? Piping hot too. None of that lukewarm stuff. If you really had to, you can absolutely eat these cold. These have already been cooked. Nothing's raw. It's not as nice, obviously. Wow. Oh my days. I tell you what, since I've been eating these army foodstuffs out in the woods, I've been farting quite a lot. And I do sense at some point soon there's going to be biblical defecation involved. Oh, here goes another one. So yes, it's windy out there and it's windy under here, if you understand what I'm saying. Oh my God. This is so good. Yeah, the all-day breakfasts simply are right up there with the top of all of the menus. And I'm so glad that they've continued to make them, because the menus are changing. And I know there's going to be people in the comments who are probably new to this. If you want to know where to get these from, there's a link below the video. I think all you do is you just click on that, go into the website and type in rations and everything will come up. I'll tell you what though, I'm so glad I've got these. If you put it alongside muesli, this wins hands down in my opinion. Field admin, this is what I do and it's always worked. You still got hot water in that cup. You're not going to be using it anymore. So rather than sling it away, get it wet, and you can use your finger. Hands and fingers are the probably best tools you can get. You just give it a general rub over, okay? That's it, done. I love to use my smock, just rub it all over there. There we go, nice and clean, ready for next time. So we're leaving camp now and we're just going to go for a little walk around. Now, trees. Always look where you set your camp up, that there's no dead ones which are still standing. So if we come over here, here's a perfect example right here. You see this tree right here? If you look up, it's dead, there's nothing growing on it at all. Right up to the very top, there's nothing there. So if you look closely, you see from there to about there or so, all of that is rotting, okay? So the reason why it's rotting is because it's in direct contact with the ground, which is always going to be damp, especially in here. So if you use this as a fuel source, absolutely. I prefer to leave them where they are, okay? If and when this tree should fall over and it's leaning that way, there's a chance that it could be in contact with the ground. And over time, that is going to end up rotten like this. All the time it's standing there, we call it dead standing. So from there upwards, all of that is fuel for fires. Now that entire tree, what we're seeing right here, will be more than enough to keep you warm and alive in sub-zero conditions. And there is more of these than you realise. If you look around, there's another one right there. They're everywhere. And like I say, you've only got to look up and just check to see if there's any green coming from it. And there's lots and lots of dead standing trees in this woods. So for fires, when it's really cold, no problem at all. I don't know if you can hear that, but they're tiny little birds. There's loads of them in there. and they're making a weird, distinctive little sound. There's loads of them. So yeah, stick in the comments if you know what that bird is called, making that brrr sort of sound. Strange. But yeah, if you look right up there, you can see how steep it is up the side of the mountain. And with them winds, you can probably see the trees moving around up there. Lots of them, especially on the outskirts of the forest, just blow over. And then there's literally shelter building materials and firewood everywhere. As I say, the only downside is because it's all pine, I'm not wanting to actually cook anything directly on the flames or the coals, because you get that resinous black smoke, and which just infuses into the food, which is probably not a good thing to do. But yeah, maybe if I was to explore this woodland, and it is a huge woodland by the way, it's absolutely massive, to find some hardwood which I can use for cooking on an open fire, that'd be nice. But no, just check it out. Stunning, love it. So let's go for a walk. Turning out to be one of those perfect camps. The only thing which is a bummer was not seeing the moon, but like, you can't have everything. You're very fortunate if you do. So now we've had a good sleep, nice and relaxed, looked at loads of awesome things which a lot of people miss. We're fed, watered, and yes, the Biblical Defecation Act come into play recently too. So yeah, absolutely feel good. Ah, dear. It's a bit weird though for summertime. You know, it's 13, 14 degrees at the moment, and you've got the wind, and it is very breezy up there. So you're probably looking at about 11 to 12 degrees C. This is the 5th of July now, in the middle of Wales, in the mountains. So yeah, we are missing those little heat waves because they are cool, if you know what I mean. Wow. But it was refreshing actually to unzip the sleeping bag and sit up. I was completely naked, but having that cool breeze, it's lovely. It really does make you feel alive. That's the probably the key message maybe of this entire video. And yes, this is going to be a long video. I do like doing the long videos, and I do get requests from lots of people saying that they love the long videos. And it's strange because, you know, some people, you know, would like to sit down and watch a film for about an hour and a half, 2 hours long. And this is probably my interpretation of it. I would rather watch something like this, or someone else do this, than some Netflix thing or whatever it is. As we know, lots of them contain hidden subliminal messages and God knows what. So I avoid all movies now. I haven't watched a movie for years. I've got over 400 DVDs. Just don't watch them. I'm keeping them though, because I'm not sure if they're going to come in handy one day for something. But at the moment, no. I'm quite happy being as free as possible, doing what I want to do. And I like to take a leaf out of the Native Americans book, because as, I don't know if you call them a race, whatever it is, the collective noun for them, is they lived in harmony with the planet. So they always moved around. They let the ground and the vicinity they were spending time in regrow and go back to nature. They didn't damage anything, and they lived within the seasons. So they ate seasonal food. They preserved and stored certain foods for out of season use, and it's a beautiful thing. It really is. I mean, and their hierarchical stance on community and family is just incredible. It really is. I mean, the elders, you know, the knowledge and the wisdom that they pass down to their youngers, invaluable. I mean, you probably got 5 or 6 year olds back then doing all sorts of stuff which 5 or 6 year olds over here in the UK and probably America too wouldn't have a clue. So definitely food for thought. especially if you've got kids and you're in charge of them, you're bringing them up, you're raising them. Give them a sense of freedom, okay? Try and get them away from them bloody screens. And I know it's hard. I've got the same with my lad. You know, it gives us a chance to tidy up and do stuff. Sit him in front of the YouTube, watching YouTube stuff, and we monitor what he sees. There's no way that we'd have TV and let him watch, especially some of the films. No, it's not good for kids. You know, some kids have nightmares because of all those Disney crap that they've watched over the years. And sometimes it stays with them for life, you know, damaged. So that's my take on it anyway. You know, your kids are exposed to all sorts. It's up to you to limit certain things which could cause them potential harm. And yeah, we should absolutely do our best for our kids. And I'm just waiting for the weather to improve a bit. I've recce'd this woods quite well, and I'm going to be taking my son for his first ever overnight camp with me. I don't know when that's going to be. Like I say, it's dependent on the weather. I didn't want to bring him out for his first experience, and it's cold, windy, rainy. You know, it's good. It might put him off. So we're waiting for a perfect window of opportunity regarding the weather to get him out here with me 24 hours and live like free men. That's what I'm planning to do. So I've recce'd the place, I found the perfect spot, and yes, that is what I'm going to be doing. And I've also ordered him his first knife as well. He'll be 6 next month. So yeah, I'm going to be monitoring for sure. You know what kids are like with sharp things. It's one of those Opinel rounded edge things. Still sharp, but the point on the end's removed. Right, let's go to somewhere different in this massive woodland. Remember earlier when I was saying about them dead standing trees when they fall over, when they're in contact with the ground and they rot and they're no good for anything really. You can't burn them really because they're full up with moisture, and you can't really do strong structures. Here's a fine example right here. You can tell that it's fallen from here and it's in contact with the ground and it's just rotting away over time. And it continues up there. On the other hand, sometimes you'll see things like this, where it's raised just slightly off of the floor, where it's not actually physically touching it. Them ones are pretty good to go. They burn great, by the way. It's the ones, there's another one just in the distance there, you can see. The ones in contact with the ground aren't going to be so good. As you can tell, they're literally falling all over the place. Yeah, and you do get the wind whistle through here, you really do. Look at all the moss on the floor. Look how soft and spaced, beautiful. It's literally everywhere. And over time, just watch it just reclaim the fallen trees. It's literally covered in moss. It's beautiful. It's just so fascinating how nature recycles. It really is, never ceases to amaze me. It's awesome. Wow, look at what we're seeing. Mushrooms. They're dotted around all over the place. Oh, here's another one. I've got no idea what they're called, if they're edible or not. Look, even at this time of year, who would have thought it? I just suspected most mushrooms are around in the autumn, winter time, but no. We just started July, and I'm seeing them dotted all over the place. Look how lush and green it is up here. It's just so beautiful. Wow, it makes a huge difference when the sun comes out. It just makes this place look even more stunning than what it actually is. And you probably could hear an aeroplane in the background. It's typical. So, Let's walk down this path and see where it takes us. What I always try and do is I try and avoid stepping into mud. No, it's not because I'm scared of getting my boots dirty. It's just in me, I guess, from don't leave any traces that you were there. Maybe one day that attitude or technique will come in very handy indeed. I even teach it to my son, and people say, oh, let him play in the mud. I say, yeah, of course, but you know, I'm trying to sort of bring him up with some of the things how I think about you don't want anyone following you around, leading you to where you're staying, etc. So you start instilling that attitude, mentality into your kids from a young age. Hopefully they will carry it through to adulthood. Isn't it beautiful? And the ferns, well, I call them bracken, some people call them ferns, but I just call them bracken. But it's just so lush and vibrant out here. I'm so glad that we can film some of this beauty with natural sunlight. You probably agree that this is one stunning place. And you know, when I used to live down south in southern England, we never really had any pine forests, very, very rare. But you come out to Wales, there's hundreds and hundreds of pine plantations, I believe they call them. So it's something I've always wanted to try, you know, constructing shelters and all of that sort of thing. But you are quite limited having one or two species of tree to work with. Like I said, when I was down south, I had access to woodland which had a multitude of different trees, which is fantastic for cooking, for building shelters, for making traps, etc. But look at this. Wow. Yeah, I suspect that there are tens of thousands of places like this all over the UK. You just have to go out and find them. I found this one, you can find yours. It's that simple. So we're going to go down this little slope now. Evidently this is the place I told you about recently, about finding somewhere for me and my son to camp. And I think here is a perfect spot right there. It's nice and flat and level. It's right by the river. All the time it's running, it's fine. But if it's stagnant, we haven't had much rain, we could have a problem with insects. Yeah, in the winter time, this was right up to the bank here, but you can see how much it's declined with the lack of rainfall. Wow. I just love it because it's just unspoilt. No one's come here to tidy up all of the fallen trees. It's just literally been left. So we're going to come down here now. Ugh. Wow. You can see the mozzies dancing around the water surface. So yeah, as beautiful as it is, if you've not got any protection or you stay too long, you could end up looking like John Merrick in a short space of time, for sure. So we're still at the site. Earlier on in the video, do you remember that little thing that was spinning around seemingly in the air? Well, it was on a bit of cobweb. Well, I've come back to the same place and it's gone. So I'm very fortunate that I was in the right place at the right time to capture that, because that really blew my mind seeing that. It was almost like an optical illusion. So yeah, it just goes to show, if you're in the right place at the right time, you do get to see some really, really cool things. It's just so tranquil. I don't know if my microphone's picking up the water sound. It's so soothing, it really, really is. I think with all of the stuff that's going on, the soul needs things like this. It seriously does. See this? Cleavers. Fortunate enough to have loads of that grown around the cottage where I live. And I've done a few posts on Instagram recently about the uses for plants like these. And if you know what you're looking for, there's stuff everywhere which can help. Medicinal stuff. That's very important going forward, because one day you may not have access to pharmaceutical synthesized drugs. Believe it or not, all of these pharma drugs stem from natural sources. Just research, find the source, find the plant, job done. Then you won't have any of those side effects. Going natural 100% all the way. Wow, I just love it here. It's almost like going back to being a kid. All of these magical fairy places and things with trolls under bridges, etc. Yeah, it's pure fantasy, but it's real. I'm actually sit here right now with you, looking at all of this, listening to all of the sounds, looking at the colours, the textures, the patterns. It's just, it's bliss. That's a great word, bliss. It really, really is. Yes. I know, I can't stop pinching myself, believe then that I'm actually here for real doing this. It's made me think earlier, when I was just walking around following this little stream which meanders behind me there. Now just imagine spending your whole life in a place like this without all of the modern stuff. Can you imagine it? Can you imagine the amount of stress? Yes, of course, it's going to be challenging and hard, but it's one of those things, if you learn all of the skills, how to get by without anything modern, proper like primitive living, you know, it would just be a completely different experience. You know, when I step back and analyse how most modern living is being done, it's terrible, it's saddening when you actually look at it. Have you done it before? Do you actually go into a supermarket and just stop and just look around rather than just focus on getting stuff and getting out there? It's scary when you just stop, think and just look slowly at stuff. Someone's house is just a big box, and in that box is little boxes, and you go to work, maybe you come home, you're tired, you know, you put that box on, that rectangle, the black screen, or some people call black mirror, but it's saddening, because like I say on some of my videos, especially the live streams, we're only here for a short period of time. And I remember my dear friend Armour Cockroach telling me a long time ago, when I used to work, there had some trees on the outside. He said, "Look out the window, what do you see?" I said, "Trees." He said, "That tree you're looking at right now, that was here long before you was born. And when you die, it's still going to be there. We're just passing through." And the amount of distractions that are in play, let's face it, there's billions of distractions, isn't there, with everything. If you can learn to just literally shut it all off, try and go somewhere to places like this for free, it's really good for you. It literally just rolls everything back, and all of the time that you're walking around, sitting down, laying down in a hammock, relaxing, just watching and listening and smelling as well. Use your 5 senses. It's really, really relaxing. It seriously is. Yes, a few occasions whilst I've been out here for 24 hours, a few little things have popped in my head which wound me up, and I was fully aware of it. And I said, "No, stop, let it go." And it went, and then straight away you're back into high definition 8K beautiful woodland again, with all of the sounds, the smells and the movement. I don't know if you can hear the wind through the top of the treetops. I just love that sound. It's almost like an invisible something just dancing over the top, and you can hear it. Yeah, it's bonkers, but in a nice way. Like I said, it's such a shame to see human life just be wasted, you know? I can hear the sounds of the trickling water, the treetops with the wind, the birds, all different varieties of birds singing at different places, at different volumes, different frequencies. And the smell. you can literally just smell the moss. It's real awesome. It just brings you back to where you should be, where you belong, where I belong anyway. It's just overwhelming, because it's like what I say on some of my videos, you know, if you do something you really enjoy doing, but you don't do it as often as you would like, when it happens, it's much greatly received and more appreciated, and you enjoy the experience even more, because it's been such a while since I've been out on my own in a place like this without any of the family stuff, the work stuff, the internet stuff, and all of the dramas and stresses that causes, just completely flatlined. And it's just been reborn and reintroduced into this incredible experience. And let me know if you think you're actually with me, because that'd be cool, because I sometimes get people leave comments and messages. It felt like I was there. And that's the goal of this video. I want you to be with me all the way through this video. Because like I said at the start, not everyone is fortunate enough, capable or able to do this for so many reasons. You know, I could speak for an whole hour about the reasons why you can't. So if you are enjoying yourself with me doing my thing, I really appreciate it. Because if one person leaves a comment saying, that's really helped, I really felt I was with you, it's inspired me, something like that. One person says that, my job's done. Simple as that. It's my calling, I guess, to help and inspire others and to learn. That's it. That's what we should be doing, rather than arguing with each other, rather than being put into a compartment saying, I'm this, you're that, I don't like you because. If that certain person is part of a different construct to you, then it's not healthy. But like I said this 10, 12 years ago now. You know, if you get your arm and you cut it open, blood comes out. That blood is pretty much the same colour as everyone else. Doesn't matter what skin colour you've got. It doesn't matter. I think Morgan Freeman said it spot on, absolutely perfect. This guy said to him, how do we stop racism? And he said, stop talking about it. And he goes, how about you stop calling me a black man and I'll stop calling you a white man? And I thought, that's it. Beauty is in simplicity, and that is it. The reason why there's so much turmoil and struggle going on this planet, and it has been for thousands and thousands of years, by the way, is because we allow ourselves to be part of certain things. You're a survivor. No, I'm a prepper. You're black. You're white. You're fat. You're small. You're lesbian. You're gay. It doesn't matter. They're labels. And I call it pigeonholing. You know when you go to the old post sorting office and you've got all these pigeonholes, right? Everything's separated. Well, that's it. We've all got a brain. We've all got a heart. We are the same. You see? All of this, they're all constructs to keep us divided. And that is the problem to what we are seeing now, which is going on around the planet. We have come divided so much that it's inevitable where this could go, providing we set all of our differences aside, no matter how hard it seems. It's ego, okay? That's mainly the thing, ego. Powers that be know this, know that it's ego, and they are masters at manipulating our egos, okay? I used to love football, was football mad. And when you think about it, you go to a stadium, 30, 40,000 people there, and you've got two sets of fans, and they're all shouting at each other. My city's better than yours. My team's got more points than you. My team scored more goals than you. To me, when you step back and look at it, like I said, when you go into a supermarket and that sort of thing, it's childish. It's wasting valuable time being embroiled within that construct. In my opinion, like I say, everyone is free to express their own opinions. And that's just one small example of how easy it is for us to become divided. United we stand, divided we fall. You've heard that one before. Oh, that rhymed. So, yeah, that's just me speaking, sitting on a rock by a stream in the middle of the woods, all on my Jack Jones. And pretty soon we're going to have to wrap up this video. So if you've stayed this far, fair play to you. But I'll try and get some more filming in the next half an hour before I decide to pack up, get picked up, and I'm out of here. So, thanks for enjoying it so far. Wow, look at this poor little fella. His time's gone. Just like I said, we're only here for a short time, and that little fella's time's up. It certainly makes you think. So this will slowly go into the soil and feed all of the smaller insects. Nature's way. At last, we're back at camp, and it's so nice to see the sun making its appearance. It really does transform this whole place when we got the sun. So yeah, after that walk, I need a drink. You can't beat it. That is water filtered from the stream under the full moon. Moon water. Yeah, some people get it. Most of the people probably don't. But it's a beautiful thing. Seriously. Wow. I just wish it was here. Honestly, what I'm seeing now is just awesome colour. Check it out. I just love it. And I'm not sure if it's picking up what I'm seeing. It probably isn't. But to see the sun just kiss every wet surface of nature out here. And you can probably hear the birds as well. Oh wow, I don't want to go home. I really don't. I could literally stay out here for another day, another 24 hours. But no, it's just so relaxing. Like you wouldn't believe actually. I literally feel like my body's just taking root into the ground. I'm proper grounded, seriously. In fact, I'd done that earlier, where you take your boots and your socks off and you roll your trouser legs up and literally just plant them onto the ground. It's called earthing. Now, I've done some pictures on Instagram about this and the benefits of it. And I recommend it. I think it works. I feel that it works. Because when you look at your shoes, your footwear, most of the time it's got rubber soles. Now, if any of you guys know about electronics, rubber and that sort of thing is good for insulation. So you're insulating yourself from the ground, earth energies. You're insulating yourself, you're not getting that earth energy. Let me tell you this, when you put your bare feet onto the soil, the grass, the moss, whatever it is, after 20 minutes, try it. You will completely get what I'm saying. Now, like I say, I fully appreciate that not everyone's going to get this. Some people might call me a wacko. It's absolutely fine. All I'm doing is I'm telling you what works for me. And I know there's many people out there who have done this. And who remembers that film Avatar with the blue creatures on that computer film, whatever it was, where there's absolutely showing all of the connections with the earth and the earth energies. The Schumann resonance, that's another one to look into. And it really does reset you. A lot of people don't get it, that we are bioelectrical organisms. Electrical. Even the other day, I was out with my son in a superstore, and I put £1 in a trolley, got the trolley, moved it around. And every, 5 minutes, we got a little tiny static shock on the metal. So yes, we are electrical. And the earth does provide electrical pulses, frequencies. So tune into that, it will reset you. In fact, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to call this video The Great Reset Camp. Because for me, it's really helped. It's seriously helped. There is a hell of a lot going on behind the scenes in my life. And like everyone, we're all struggling with something. And it seems to be ongoing, just continuously rolling on. And it can pull you down, of course it can. So for me to come to a place like this for over 24, 25, 26, 27 hours, I would have been here by the time I got to leave. That was absolutely more than enough to completely recharge myself. Self, as in the word self. It really does. And it's great. The Great Reset. It's quite ironic, isn't it, with how they flip things, invert things. But no, I really do think it's helped big time. So if you can, if you're able or capable to do something like this, try and do it sooner rather than later. You'll be glad that you did. Now, if anyone else, I'd love to hear in the comments if any of you guys have done anything like this before. 24 hours or so on your own, in the woods, just soaking up that woodland or that forest vibe. It'd be interesting to see how many have done this before. If you did do it a long time ago, and for one reason to another that you haven't been able to do it, try and make it a priority. Because let me tell you this, it's helped more than you could possibly imagine. Straight up. Right, so now is the time to start going away. Yep, I'm going to get all this and put it in one pile, because once the fire pit area has been sterilised, as it were, we're just going to lay these over top. It will just give the ground a chance to catch up. So it shouldn't be that visible. But yeah, this has made a big difference. After walking along the ridge, looking down at this spot, this really did do a great job stopping the shine. And to some extent, a small part of the outline, as you can see here. So yeah, it just goes to show that little tiny bit of extra effort to give you a fighting chance from not really being seen. But, you know, touch wood, around here I've never seen a single soul. So it does feel like this is my own place. But one day there will be someone. So hopefully, carrying on with the old skills, it's going to give me a fighting chance of not being seen. Whew. There we go, all in one big pile down there. Wow, what a manky old basher this is now. That's going to need probably a washing machine job. I've never done that before. Or I might just hang it up and air it, probably, like I usually do. What do you guys think? Right, let's take it down. Okay. And look at that tiny little stone, which we got from the stream earlier. It's still in there. We just have to undo them double knot around it, because I didn't want that coming off, because sometimes you get some big winds around here, so it's best to do it a little bit stronger than you probably need to. I always err on the side of caution. So that little stone has dropped through now. Here is our paracord, and I'm going to hank that up and put that away for another day. Ground pegs first. Some nice mud too, lovely. Not forgetting, of course, our water supply. There's still some in there, but we don't need it now because we're shooting off. But no, it's awesome to be able to find water from anywhere, clean it and drink it. All right, let's take down the front two securing pegs. All that does now is, whilst I'm doing other stuff, because it had rain on it, it just gives it a fighting chance of dripping off most of the water. So when we take it away, it's not just going to be one big saturated mess. It's probably going to be a bit damp. So that's how I'll roll. Bungees. What I like to do with bungees is just wrap them over my neck so they don't get lost. Because they're the same colour as the forest, they're very easy to get lost. It's a technique I've done for years and it's not really let me down yet. The uprights, we can just lose those. They're semi-rotten, so there's pointless reusing those again. So they've disappeared into the forest. Tent pegs, they're going on a little tent peg bag. Always make sure that you count as well, because if you have left something behind, it will stay there, and the chances of you finding it again are very slim, because as you can tell, the forest just keeps growing, especially summertime. So that's all squared away in its bag. Job done. Always release these under tension too. I've never had one hit me in the face. I hope the God never will. Whoop. So yeah, like I say, I'll just put them over my neck like that so they don't get lost. Same with the other side. Always make sure you've got the right amount when you started, because like I say, it's so easy to lose stuff out here. There we go. A nice wet, soggy basher, or tarp if you will. Now what I've found helps quite well, taking these out into the woods, etc., when it is in a state like that, the best thing I use is a carrier bag, just a cheap carrier bag, okay? You can of course use pouches and dry sacks, etc., but all that's going to do is give you something else to wash, okay? With this carrier bag, I can use this for other stuff in and around the house with the fire, etc. So I don't want it getting dirty, so we can reuse it. And just one less thing to do, washing up, doing your admin stuff. So there's our bungees. I like to coil them all together, so it just makes it a bit easier, so you don't get all tangled up and become one great big horrific mess. So obviously that's where we were, all nice and flat and dry, but that will be hidden away when we get some more rain. Now, to sort this little mess out here, you don't want to be leaving that sort of stuff behind. So what I do is I just look around all of the little black bits, etc., gather them all up and just put them in a pile. Because I'm going to be using this area again, it all helps to keep stuff back. So they're good charcoals. Even when they're wet, when they start getting warm from the new fire above it, they will start adding to the fuel. Don't worry about getting your hands dirty, because after all, you're outdoors and all of your stuff can get cleaned when you get home. Washing machine, etc., clean your hands, have a shower, all that good stuff. So yeah, don't worry about getting dirty in the field. Now, if you notice, I'm putting my hands all over the area. I'm doing that to check the temperature. There's a tiny bit of warmth, but to be fair, it's literally nothing. So I'm quite happy with that. It's practically cold, to be honest, because when that fire went out, I think it was 1 AM. It's now 2:30 the following day, so yes, it's been there for a long old time. So we've got all of our little coals. Like I say, because we're coming back to the same area, all of these coals are going to go back. So it's a good idea to go back to the ground to check, because if anything is hot, you need to remove as much as you can and get water on it, and lots of it too, because that will just literally make sure that that fire is 100% out. Like I say, usually I don't do this, but because I come back to the same spot and there's literally no one comes here, I feel it's cool to do this. So all of these pieces here, including that little burn mark with the hexi, I just literally rub it out and cover it over. So you can be as fastidious as you want doing this. You really can. You could spend 2 hours making it look perfect, but I don't think you really have to. You just have to make sure that if someone is out walking a dog, they walk right over it or right past it, never knowing that someone's had a fire there, because that could lead to all sorts of issues. So there we go. And we just literally backfill all of this. If you notice, when I've done the fire pit area yesterday, I kicked all of it to one side, making this wall. It just makes it that much easier to put back. Ugh! And it's good using these great big boots to do that too. We just literally just cover it all over. Like I say, it's completely up to you how far you want to go with this, but I just do just barely enough. I don't want to spend all day doing it, but like I say, you don't really want any visible signs of fires. It's a very small pit, to be fair, almost bordering onto a surface fire, but as long as it gets put out properly, covered up, we're all good. Now these pieces here, oh, they're literally just going to get launched in different locations all the way into the undergrowth. That's them gone. And like we saw earlier, the disappearing trick. That's pretty cool, because from a distance, because it's the same colours and the same plant life, as you can see from all of the other pieces of bracken and ferns everywhere, it's not going to stand out too much. Well done, as my son says. Finished. Everything's leave no trace, everything's packed away. I've just done a final sweep check, I call it, and I found an elastic band on the floor. Some of you keen observers may have noticed earlier. Nothing else. Everything has been squared away. So theoretically, someone walking a dog, if they do, like I say, I haven't seen no evidence of anyone being here apart from the odd horse track every couple of months. So yeah, it's practically a virgin woods, as it were. No one really uses it apart from myself. So yeah, respect it. Always err on the side of caution if someone does walk their dog and the dog runs down here, they come down looking for the dog. They should be able to walk right past this site and not know that anything's gone on there. That's the key. That's the skill which many of us should be inclined to look into. Okay, covering your tracks, because you never know, that could come in really important into the future, because who knows. All of that being said, thank you ever so much to all of you for staying right to the end of this video. Yes, it's probably been quite long. It's going to take me ages and ages to edit this. So yes, currently it's the 5th of July 2023. Hopefully this will be up Saturday night. So if you guys are bored, loose end, you know, this would be cool if you watch this on a Saturday night, like a TV film or something. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed myself, and it was, for me personally, a really great reset, because everything got reset. It was needed. And I know many of you out there, like I touched on earlier, are struggling with stuff which is going on. So hopefully, having watched this video to now, your mind hasn't been on all of that stuff. You've just been enjoying this video, which means a lot to me. It really does, because it would be crazy for me to put all of his time and effort in to put it up there and only 10 people see it. But nonetheless, 1 or 2 out of those 10 might really look into doing something similar. All right. So if you can't, or whatever reason you can't do this sort of stuff, I hope it's helped taking you out of that crazy box which we all seem to be put into these days. And yeah, come along with the experience of a lifetime, because for me this was fantastic. Like I said, the only thing which was missing was seeing the moon. Well, I camped here before and I literally looked up through the clearing through there and I saw the moon go over. Now, maybe because of physics, etc., maybe as we go through the year it's going to be a different location, which could have been the reason. But having a quick look around, there was nothing. It was just cloud cover. But I think it was 3, 4 in the morning. It was like daylight in here, and I'm not exaggerating. I could have filmed it without the night filter on the camera. It was that bright. So yeah, it was a massive supermoon, berry moon, which is cool. And yeah, I really feel like it's recharged me and reset lots of things which were going out of kilter. So yeah, I think we've got tonight, possibly tomorrow night, to get the benefits of his massive supermoon. So if you want to, go for it. It will really help. It's helped me. Everyone's different, who knows? So yes, if you like what you're seeing, if you're new here, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. That seriously helps, okay? Because the more people watch these videos, the more people will get the message, which is most important. And there's a reason why I left that message near the end, because not everyone is supposed to see or hear that message. So if you did stay till now, fair play to you. And if you did understand what I was getting at in that message, fair play to you again, spot on. And if you want to, there's links below the video. There's all sorts of stuff, because I do get questions. Where did you get that lamp from? Where did you get this from? Or where do I get that? All of them links are below the video, and some of them have got discounts. So if you want to save money, you can, but you don't have to. They're just there if anyone is interested. And pretty much it. That's really cool. You guys, take care of yourself. Thank you for watching, and stay funky.